Starting off, we have Kelly Rowland and an assistant. Insiders have revealed the reason why Kelly Rowland scolded an assistant on the red carpet at the Cannes Film Festival this past week. Now, Kelly was attending the premiere of the French film Marcelo Mio. As Kelly made her way up the famous steps, she appeared to engage in a verbal dispute with a member of security after she held up her arm to guide her into the venue. It has been revealed that the fight happened because staff members at the festival were being aggressive, and Kelly had it with them. The people who are assigned to helping stars walk the red carpet were being aggressive, and Kelly was trying to ignore it, the source said. By the time she got to the last woman, she had it because she scolded Kelly and told her to move when she was trying to wave to fans and help the paparazzi get their shot, they added. Now, the source also revealed she doesn't care if she comes across like a diva if she knows that she's advocating for herself. She isn't fake and wanted to set a clear boundary. Footage from the altercation shows a furious Kelly visibly scolding the staff member as she held up her finger to scold the woman in front of the crowd in attendance. Now, the security guard appeared to frantically respond to Kelly, who even turned back to continue her tirade as she made her way up the rest of the steps. Next up is Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. Now, the Queens of Rap had an altercation during New York Fashion Week in 2018. Sources stated that Cardi B reportedly became upset with Nicki after she heard she was criticizing her skills as a mother. A video was posted of Cardi B shouting and lunging towards someone believed to be Nicki. Shoes were thrown. No photos of the incident showed Cardi B being escorted out of the party barefoot with a sizable bump on her forehead, presumably caused by Nicki's security detail, who intervened after Cardi threw a shoe at Nicki. Now, after the incident, Cardi took to Instagram and wrote that she lets a lot of slide and that the fight was a result of Nicki's questioning of her capabilities as a mother. Now, speaking on her radio show later, Nicki said, "Get this woman some effing help." And after that, Cardi took to Instagram again to debunk Nicki's side of the story. Apparently, they have squashed any issues they've had with each other at the moment, but who knows if this feud will reignite again. Then there's Machine Gun Kelly and Conor McGregor. At the 2021 VMAs, UFC fighter Conor McGregor and Machine Gun Kelly almost got involved in a fight on the red carpet. According to Page 6, the pair had to be separated as they walked the red carpet at the annual event, with McGregor seemingly throwing a punch in Machine Gun Kelly's direction. A source also alleged to Page 6 that McGregor threw a drink over MGK, and photos suggested that there was no love lost between the pair. In fact, one eagle-eyed witness shared video footage of the fight on Twitter, and it certainly looked like the professional fighter was ready to engage in a full-on punching match with the musician. Now, despite there being a slew of photographic and video evidence of the almost beatdown, McGregor's representative released a statement to Page 6 saying, "Conor only fights fighters." Now, according to Radar Online sources, there was a lot of screaming between the pair on the red carpet, with security guards trying to intervene and stop the altercation from escalating. Now, it remains unclear why McGregor and Machine Gun Kelly were fighting, but it was a crazy interaction overall. Moving on to Dakota Johnson and Melanie Griffith. Now, for those of you who don't know, yes, Dakota Johnson is a nepotism baby. Now, at the time of this red carpet interview with her mother, Melanie Griffith, her movie 50 Shades of Grey had recently come out. Now, being rated R due to themes and nude scenes, an interviewer asked Melanie if she had seen the film. Now, Melanie will do anything to support her daughter, except watching a sexually explicit film starring her, and honestly, I don't blame her. The two got into a very uncomfortable conversation after being asked whether Melanie had seen the movie. Melanie simply responded no, then added, "I don't think I can, I think it would be strange." "Alright, you don't have to see it," argued Dakota. "If she tells me to see it, I'll see it," her mother said, and Dakota followed this up with, "I tell you to see it and you're like, eh." Definitely an awkward moment between a mother and daughter in general, but in regards to them talking about 50 Shades of Grey, I feel like it's even awkwarder. I just want to know who greenlit that question for the interviewer, because it's an incredibly awkward and strange question to ask.
Next up, we have Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise did not appreciate being pranked while in the middle of an interview, and he made sure that they knew that loud and clear. During the premiere for his movie War of the Worlds, he thought he was being interviewed by some regular reporter before he was instantly squirted by a water gun mid-sentence. The actor did not hesitate to confront the man, who seemed taken off guard and unsure of how to respond to him, after he asked him why he would do that. Even when the man tries to remove himself from the situation, Tom refuses to let him, even calling him rude and a jerk. Later, we found out that the guy was working with 3 other men, and they all worked under a British network for their show that specializes in pranking celebrities. The joke was on them because the four of them were eventually detained by police shortly after, and their company wrote out an apology to Tom Cruise for the incident. This next moment is less of a feud, but more of a really awkward celeb interaction, and it involves Kesha and Jerry Seinfeld. At some red carpet event several years ago, Kesha found herself on the carpet at the same time as Jerry Seinfeld, whom she is a very big fan of. The actor was in the middle of an interview on his own when Kesha intervened. This video was awkward enough on its own, but at least she asked for consent. Kesha asked Jerry for a hug, but Jerry said, no, absolutely not. He later shared that he didn't intend to be rude, he just felt taken aback because she was sprung out of nowhere and he truly didn't know who Kesha was. I just think that this could be a learning lesson for us all. Should Kesha have kept pushing for a hug even after he said no? Probably not. Could Jerry have declined in a nicer way? Yeah, probably. But still, viewers remain divided on this, so whose side are you on? Another awkward red carpet moment involves Tiffany Haddish. When Entertainment Tonight reporter Lorna Zima asked Tiffany about her quote costume change at the 2022 Vanity Fair Oscars after party, the comedian was quick to put the reporter in her place. "I'm not wearing a costume, I'm wearing Dolce & Gabbana," the actress replied. "It's called an evening gown, darling. No one's paying me for this, I paid for it. It's custom." Zima tried to ease the tension with a joke, laughing about her quote time of death, but Haddish wasn't finished. "This is not an acting gig, this is my life. This is what fame looks like. This is what success looks like. This is what money looks like." Haddish went on to praise her friend Will Smith for slapping Oscars host Chris Rock earlier that evening, after Rock publicly mocked Smith's wife and actor Jada Pinkett Smith. Last but not least, we have Jim Carrey versus a red carpet reporter. Now, Jim has been in the public eye for decades for hit movies like Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura, and The Truman Show, but perhaps he will be best known for this very interesting red carpet interaction. It's clear that Jim Carrey wasn't thrilled about attending the Harper's Bazaar Icons party in 2017. What's not clear is why he showed up in the first place. There's no meaning to any of this, he told former E! reporter Kat Sandler when asked about his attendance. "I wanted to find the most
Starting off our list today at number 10, we have Isaac Mizrahi. While Isaac Mizrahi was acting as an interviewer for E! on the red carpet for the Golden Globes, he would have a troubling interview with Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett, who was attending as a supporting actress nominee for Match Point, would be left feeling shocked after Isaac decided to touch her chest in the interview because he wanted to know if the actress had a bra under her stunning red dress. As he gave it a quick squeeze, he would then say, "I'm just taking notes for next time I make a..." Then he would be cut off by Scarlett, who said, "What is going on?" And then she said, "Absolutely, take all the notes you want." The actress then later said, "Oh my god." While Isaac did later apologize for offending anyone, the Academy of Motion Pictures of Arts then had to issue their own statement when they said, "I can predict we would be extraordinary angry if that happened on our red carpet. I cannot predict what we would do afterwards." Number 9, Kesha. Remember that time when Jerry Seinfeld savagely refused to hug Kesha during a red carpet interview? Not once, not twice, but 3 painful times. It was truly the stuff of nightmares, but watching it from the comfort of our own homes made for some great laughs. Although Kesha was silent about the issue for some time, she would come out in 2017 to break the silence on what happened after she rudely interrupted Jerry in an interview to ask him for a hug. Jerry would then later sit down for an interview with AJ Calloway where he explained that he didn't hug Kesha because he simply didn't know her and admitted, "I'm 63. I don't know every pop star. I have to meet someone to say hello. Gotta start somewhere." For Kesha's part, she remained pretty quiet on the whole issue as she was presumably recovering from all the overwhelming embarrassment of being rejected so publicly like that. However, a day after the video went viral, she did post an Instagram photo of her cat with some pretty suggestive hashtags. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and, subscribe to the channel. Coming number 8, we have Tommy Tommy Lee Jones. When Joan and Melissa Rivers were asked who their least favorite person to interview on the red carpet was, they didn't have to think twice before responding, and they both ended up saying Tommy Lee Jones. In 2013, HuffPost Live asked the famous mother and daughter duo about their worst celebrity interview, and Melissa immediately said Tommy Lee Jones, to which Joan responded by saying, "Oh, without a question." HuffPost then went on to ask the pair to elaborate on the assertion, to which Melissa went on to know, "He's at the top of everybody's list. He doesn't want to be there, he's unhappy doing the red carpet, and he's going to make everyone else around him just as unhappy in the experience." Joan then would go on to sum up the issue nicely by saying, "Jones went to Harvard and is very impressed by that accomplishment." She then went on to say, "We all went to Ivy League schools, calm down." Number 7. John Travolta. In 2015, John Travolta once again became the talk of the Oscars after he had a pretty off encounter with Scarlett Johansson that had some of us scratching our heads. Scarlett, who co-starred with John in the film A Love Story for Bobby Long, told the Associated Press that the picture of him kissing her on the red carpet was taken out of context. She then went on to say there is nothing strange, creepy, or inappropriate about John Travolta. The image that is circulating is unfortunate, still framed from a live-action encounter that was a very sweet and total welcome. She then went on to add that the photo did not reflect the live moment and that we were all being misguided and misinformed, and that she hadn't seen John in some years and it was always a pleasure to be greeted by him, yet her face in the photo said otherwise. Number 6. Ryan Seacrest. In 2019, Grammy viewers would slam Ryan Seacrest for his awkward Lady Gaga red carpet interview. When Ryan tried to interview the superstar, he didn't so much ask her questions as he just chose to speak to her. And when Lady Gaga did try to speak, Ryan would just end up cutting her off without even giving her the chance to speak properly. He then went on to tell her that she should be performing at the Oscars, for which she is a multiple nominee for, and she responded by saying, "That was like, answer my question, but I'm not asking one." Ryan then tried to recover from the interview, but then made an awkward joke about him not asking her questions before saying they were cutting to break. Gaga was a good sport in handling the awkward interview, playing along with his joke that carried on for way too long as there was a delay in going to the advertisements. Before the interview was over, she did pull a host of awkward faces before eventually hugging Ryan and leaving.
Number 5. Hugh Grant. In 2013, the world was gifted with an awkward interview between model Ashley Graham and Dungeons & Dragons star Hugh Grant. Ashley was trying her best to give a good interview and asked Hugh the hard-hitting questions, like who was he wearing? Was he excited to be there? Did he hope anyone he knew won? You know, good old generic questions they tell you to ask on the first day of work. Hugh was not budging, to the point where she just kinda gave up and let him loose. One of her last questions to Hugh was regarding his cameo in the Netflix film Glass Onion, which he said was barely a full day on set. The incident sparked a ton of backlash, mainly aimed at Hugh for making Ashley's job more and more difficult. But then the narrative switched to, why wasn't she asking him better questions? ABC decided to give the hosting gig to somebody else for next year's Oscars, and it's looking like she won't be making any more interview appearances anytime soon. Number 4. Amy Schumer. In the mid-2010s, comedian Amy Schumer was named one of Time magazine's top 100 most influential people and was made to attend a red carpet event to celebrate with her fellow influencers, 2 of whom were Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. Now, while discussing the incident on the Graham Norton show, she revealed that there was a planned prank on Kim and Ye. Her goal was to get them to crack and smile and get some good fun pics for the event, but Kim and Kanye did not find this situation funny and continued to walk past her as she fell in front of them. Like she just followed forward trying to make a nice little thing out of it. While the moment was meant to create a fun scene, it instead made Amy look like she had a grudge towards Kim and Kanye. While not an interview, the incident on the red carpet did force Comedy Central to postpone a season of her show until things were sorted out with Kim. It turned out that not only did Kim not care, but she did end up finding the incident kind of funny in the end, with these two apparently now being close friends, and Amy even made a cameo on Kim's new reality series, The Kardashians. Number 3. Rashida Jones. The star of comedy giants like The Office and Parks and Rec is an expert at evading uncomfortable and just strange questions. During the Screen Actors Guild Awards in 2015, she was being interviewed by TNT's Danielle Dembski when the actress was told she was very tanned. Well, Rashida replied with a small pause and then told the reporter that she was ethnic, so, duh. Danielle burst into laughter before ignoring the dumb question and moving on, but TNT did not forget. Her producers made it very clear that she needed to do more research before making comments or asking questions to anyone on the carpet. According to TNT, she was let go after the meeting went south and Danielle didn't realize what she had done wrong. Gee, let me think. Number 2. Silka Sibin. While attending the Dutch premiere of his rom-com Music in the Lyrics, Hugh Grant, making another appearance, got the shock of a lifetime after a fan got a little bit too excited and took their admiration to a whole new level. Television journalist Silka Sibin approached Grant and he thought it was an interview, but then she handcuffed herself to him. For about 10 minutes, the patient but frustrated Grant was just waiting and watched as several onlookers started snapping pictures left and right. After the fire department finally released them, Sibin was taken by police. And while this may have seemed like your average Hollywood interaction, the news station that she worked for did not appreciate this gag and she was fired immediately. And at number 1, Ryan Seacrest. Ryan was the man with the mic for a very long time, hosting not only talk shows, but reality game shows as well. Eventually though, he found a nice comfy gig interviewing celebrities on and off the red carpet. In 2018, things changed drastically after allegations of misconduct were brought forward by a former female employee named Susie Hardy. Susie was his personal hairstylist and the job was perfect for a very long time. But according to her, Ryan became very aggressive on several occasions, claiming that the only reason she never said anything was fear that she may lose the financial stability that the job had provided for herself and her daughter. In 2013, the situation finally ended when she expressed her concerns to someone at Human Resources and her employment was terminated. Now, while this was happening, Ryan was still employed as a host and a presenter, so he took to the red carpet that year to interview celebrities and he was met with cold shoulders and sarcastic comments. After the red carpet event, the decision was made to put Ryan on hold for a while until the investigation into the allegations were complete. 3 months later, they concluded that there was insufficient evidence to prove the claims and Ryan got reinstated. I'm not sure why a single mom would lie about something like that. I'm pretty sure Ryan's hiding some shady stuff, but who knows for sure? Do you? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Zac Efron. Zac rose to fame as a Disney darling, playing the leading role of Troy Bolton in the popular High School Musical series. Since his Disney days, Zac has lent his face and voice to several projects. But the red carpet event that we're talking about today was for the animated Dr. Seuss movie The Lorax, which Zac, who voiced the main character of the film, was walking the red carpet when he suddenly handed his assistant something from his pocket. As he handed them the product, something fell out of his pocket and onto the carpet. Now that something is a word that I can't say online. Let's just call them love tubes. Love tubes. I like that. Zac's love tube wrapper was flat on the carpet right there for the world to see. He quickly picked it up, but the damage had already been done. In the first interview following this incident, the interviewer asked Zac if there was anything unplanned that had happened. He then explained that this was a complete accident. There was no pre-show pocket check or anything that could have prevented it. Well, Illumination did not like that excuse, and they also didn't like their main star being associated with such an adult product. So, when the plans for a Lorax sequel were brought to the studios, Zac's name was left out and replaced by somebody else. I guess whoever they picked wasn't famous enough though, as the project was ultimately shelved by the studio, and thankfully Zac found work somewhere else. In Baywatch. Number 9. Taylor Swift. If there is one thing that should be known about Taylor Swift, it's that she can end an entire career with one single conversation. In 2015, Taylor was on the red carpet for the Grammy Awards when she was interviewed by a woman from Entertainment Tonight. The interviewer started the interview by asking her cameraman to pan up and down and literally checking her out as this massive camera just followed her. You know, that's not weird at all. After going along with the bit for a bit and telling the camera about her dress, the woman who was interviewing her said that she honestly just wanted a shot of Taylor's legs because she said before the show that Taylor is going to be going home with more than a trophy. Maybe a man. Ooh. Taylor didn't appreciate that comment or that assumption. She did not laugh and proceeded to tell her that she would be going home with no men, just hanging out with her friends and then home to her cats. While the majority of the interview went well, the interviewers were reprimanded behind the scenes by Taylor herself. The news of Taylor's dislike for them made its way up to the top, where the ET executives decided to keep him off the red carpet from now on. Keep your creepy camera gestures to yourself, lady. Number 8. Rachel Zegler. Rachel Zegler's comments about the upcoming live-action Snow White remake could have a huge impact on ticket sales, according to brand experts. The 22-year-old actress has received plenty of backlash after she admitted that she hated the original 1937 movie and branded the storyline as weird, while referring to the Prince character as a straight-up stalker. The backlash occurred after several videos of Rachel speaking negatively about the original film in various interviews last year resurfacing online, where when she spoke about her version of the character, she said that she is not going to be saved by the prince and that she is not going to be dreaming about true love. As well as being labeled a fake feminist, some critics have accused Rachel of gaslighting, and one marketing consultant has warned that Disney will need to be very careful with how they have portrayed Snow White. Snow White has already been suffering from lots of backlash well before Rachel made her comments. Peter Dinklage spoke out about Disney not using true dwarf actors for the new film, instead opting to use heavy CGI on Hollywood elites. Rachel's role as Snow White is in the air as of filming this video, because thanks to her comments, the studio is rethinking the situation. While the film is set to release in March of next year, the writer's strike may be the exact moment that the studio needs to recast and rewrite its oldest character. Number 7. Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is known for his hilarious personality on and off screen, but he gave Kat Sadler from E! News and Daily Pop a very awkward interview on the red carpet at Harper Bazaar's party in 2017. The interaction started with Jim slowly circling Kat as she attempts to express her confusion and excitement. Jim Carrey was at a Fashion Week event. Was the man known for being an incredible artist, bringing his talent to the fashion world? No, he was just really mad about stuff. By 2017, Jim had made a name for himself as an oddly serious man who tended to venture into the realm of energies and universal concepts when getting into deep conversations. He started the conversation with, "This is meaningless." And then he continued to say that he wanted to find the most meaningless thing that he could attend that evening. The event was a celebration of icons and celebrities, according to Kat, to which Jim said he did not agree, as in he didn't agree with the concept of icons. He continued to give a small speech about not believing that people truly exist, and that we are all just a field of energy, and that peace lies beyond personality, man. The entire time this interview is taking place, Kat is visibly uncomfortable, just counting down to the moment that Jim says something funny or even remotely related to fashion. Instead, he just shares his thoughts, tells her that she has a nice fragrance, and walks away. While Jim's career had already started to slow down at that point, the clip became viral and studios were wondering if he was going to be a good fit for anything anymore. Many scripts with his name on them were rewritten or simply just kept to themselves, right up until 2020 when he made a small comeback in the surprisingly fun Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Number 6. Will Smith. That's right, Will Smith is on this list for hitting somebody, and it's not Chris Rock. Today we're talking about an incident on the red carpet that left one paparazzo with a massive red mark on his face and a fired sign stamped on his forehead. Will was walking the red carpet giving people interviews when a Ukrainian comedian named Vitaly Sejik approached him, a man who is unfortunately world famous for being an absolutely disgusting person towards celebrities. He pretended to be a reporter and began interviewing Will Smith. He suddenly pulled Will towards him and tried to kiss him on his cheeks and mouth. Well, Will obviously did not like that and shoved him back and gave him a little love tap. Just a little backhand to the face. A team of security following Mr. Smith picked this guy up and carried him away like a little toddler that he was. Who knew Will was practicing for his Oscar slaps all the way back then? Sejik was finally reprimanded for his actions, and he was actually made to pay a hefty fine for attempting to force himself on Will Smith. Needless to say, that guy works for himself now.
Number 5. David Lee Roth. In 2019, David Lee Roth had a pretty bizarre red carpet interview that taught us all that you can either wear all sorts of outlandish things or nothing, and you can also be as provocative as you want in the name of artistry, and flaunt your questionable decisions all over social media. The king of being being completely insane during the red carpet interview will always go to David Lee Roth. David, who was set to perform at the Billboard Music Awards, was being interviewed by E! on the red carpet special. During the interview, he would start out on solid footing, discussing Van Halen's dance influence and how what they did in the 80s has informed today's pop music, which was okay. But things took a quick turn when he decided to quickly go off the rails, and somehow West Side Story, Lowriders, and David's abundance of black and Hispanic friends all came up. The whole interview was just him inspiring to get on Miley's level of interviews, and it was just completely weird. Go give it a watch. Number 4. Tiffany Haddish. When Entertainment Tonight's Lauren Zima seemed to have accidentally called Tiffany Haddish's new Oscar after-party dress a costume change, things quickly went south, and when Tiffany fired back at Lauren saying, "I'm not wearing a costume, I'm wearing Dolce & Gabbana," the actress was clearly not done firing back at the reporter when she then went on to educate her on costumes and outfits by saying, "It's called an evening gown, darling. No one is paying for this. I paid for it. It's custom. Thank you." That's when the reporter jokingly announced it was her time to pass away, pretended to faint in an attempt to ease the tension, and Tiffany's response, may I add, was, "This is what fame looks like, this is what success looks like, this is what money looks like." And yeah, the moment is just as brutal to watch as you would expect. And take notes, because if it's not Halloween, it's not a costume, and you definitely don't want to make the same mistake unless you want to be embarrassed on the red carpet by some of Hollywood's biggest stars. Coming number 3, we have Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow once left Emma Chamberlain in a pretty awkward red carpet interview. That became one of the most hilarious and viral moments of 2022 when Emma, who is a big YouTuber, was interviewing Jack Harlow for Vogue. What started off as a pretty interesting interview would then randomly turn a different way when Jack decided out of nowhere that he was going to hit her with a totally random "love you," and then he quickly turned away and left the interview. Now you're probably wondering what happened next. Well, as the rapper walked away, the camera would zoom in on Emma, and it would give us a glorious image of her staring into space and questioning her entire reality, which was honestly a 10 out of 10 reaction, but considering their age difference, the gesture was just completely weird. Number 2, we have Sutton Strachey. Okay, we all know that there's no one more dramatic than the Real Housewives cast, as they always seem to do shady things at the most random times. Like the time Sutton Strachey showed up to the People's Choice Awards in 2022, and just like the show, she brought some drama. When the interviewer asked her if she would like Lisa to return to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the reality TV personality definitely didn't have anything nice to say. She then chose to look at the reporter and the camera in total silence, and she stayed like this until the reporter moved on to the next question. It was a question she actually wanted to respond to. The reporter then went on to the next question by saying anyways. But just before, if you caught a look at Sutton, you would see that she was baffled, and she looked pretty mean and scary to the point it would have caused any reporter to end the interview and move on to the next star. It's safe to say that Sutton doesn't really like Lisa and doesn't want her to return to the show anytime soon. And coming at number 1 today, we have Sacha Baron Cohen. When he showed up to the red carpet dressed as his character from The Dictator, his look was completely pushing boundaries as he proceeded on the red carpet accompanied by female bodyguards and an urn which he stated was filled with Kim Jong-un's ashes. While the whole interview and actions were very off-putting and not really professional, things took a quick turn to the worse when he decided to accidentally dump the material all over Ryan Seacrest's Burberry tux. While everyone was shocked at what actually happened, Ryan Seacrest actually showed the world what a true professional he is, and he brushed it off. And he brushed it off quite literally, may I add.
First up, we have Conor McGregor and Machine Gun Kelly. It's difficult to tell exactly what happened between mixed martial artist / UFC fighter Conor McGregor and rapper Machine Gun Kelly just before the MTV VMAs in 2021, but one video of the incident, which already had 1.5 million views by the next morning, showed a man in a suit on the red carpet holding back Conor McGregor, who then approached a large group of people including Kelly and his then girlfriend, actress Megan Fox. All of a sudden, a large gasp went up from the crowd and several handlers grabbed Kelly and pulled him away. People started yelling, "Run, run, run," and "Where's Megan?" The couple was surrounded by security as they were swiftly led away from the group. "Go this way, Alright, get her out this way, one woman commanded, steering the clearly distressed actress into a less crowded corner of the carpet. Photos and video immediately started circulating on social media. Wow. What happened? Asked Entertainment Tonight correspondent Rachel Smith when she saw McGregor. Absolutely nothing, McGregor said. I don't even know the guy, to be honest with you. Nothing happened with me. I only fight real fighters, people that actually fight. You know what I mean? I certainly don't fight little vanilla boy rappers. I don't even know the guy. I don't know anything about him except that he's with Megan Fox. Interesting. Our next red carpet feud involves J-Lo and Ben Affleck. The couple is known to be quite feisty with one another, and that remained true during the red carpet for J-Lo's movie premiere, Mother. After the premiere, photos of Affleck and Lopez fighting and what looked like yelling at each other circulated quickly online, and fans kept wondering, what are they saying to each other? Well, a lip reader has revealed what Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez have said, and honestly, it's pretty funny. A lip reader told the Daily Mail the couple, who appeared frustrated and irritated at times, were merely debating poses and positioning for the red carpet. The expert said that during the now viral exchange, Lopez appeared to ask Affleck whether her low-cut top was showing too much, prompting him to respond, quote, "It's fine." After finding their joint pose, Affleck appeared to tell his wife to come closer to him before leaning into her ear saying, "Don't worry, babe." Our next red carpet feud involves Ariana Grande and the red carpet photographers. At the 2016 Billboard Music Awards, things got pretty heated. While Ariana was walking the red carpet, numerous photographers were shouting at Ariana in order to get her to look into their camera lens. Ariana looked absolutely beautiful, but the constant shouting of "look over here" must have put her in a bad mood. After one photographer yelled, "Ariana, you aren't looking," she yelled back with, "Yeah, and what about it?" She then did a hair flip and strutted to another side of the carpet. Our next red carpet disaster involves Aubrey Plaza and Michael Cera. You know Aubrey from shows like Parks and Recreation and White Lotus, and Michael from movies like Molly's Game, Barbie, Superbad, and Juno. The two stars had a viral red carpet spat during the 2010 premiere of their movie Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. While Aubrey was being interviewed on the carpet, a reporter asked, "So, do you hate Michael Cera as much as your character does?" Aubrey responded with, "If you thought the character was believable, that's because the hatred comes from a very real place." Does that answer your question? Also, let me just say that in most of the scenes I had to curse Michael Cera out, and I had a lot of fun doing it, she says. Soon after, Michael Cera comes up to Aubrey, aggressively grabbing her mic that she was holding. Aubrey responds to him by saying, "Seriously, like, don't do that." The interviewer chimes in by saying, "Wow, there is so much romantic tension here, it is obvious." Aubrey responds by saying, "I have no clue what you're talking about." The hilarious exchange went viral on YouTube, with some commenters saying there are so many levels of irony and sarcasm in this exchange that, quote, "I don't even know what's real anymore." Our next red carpet feud involves Kim K and a random stranger who sabotaged her event. Kardashian was celebrating the launch of her new perfume True Reflection at an event to benefit the charity Dress for Success. As video from E! News shows, a woman walked up to Kim Kardashian, yelled what sounded like "lousy fur hag," and flower bombed the reality star, throwing a bunch of flour at her forehead, covering her entire body. The alleged powder thrower was detained by hotel security, according to the LA Times, but was later released after Kardashian declined to press charges. Kardashian dusted herself off and returned to the event. Our next red carpet disaster involves a Will Smith slap. So, if you thought I was going to be talking about the infamous Oscar slap from a couple years ago, you are wrong. Because the first time Will Smith gave someone a piece of his mind was a decade before that. It was the year 2012, and the actor was at the movie premiere for his new film, Men in Black 3, when he encountered the insufferable Vitaly Siduk. You know him? Vitaly Siduk is the man whose main mission in life is to wreak havoc among any celebrity he can get his hands on. Will Smith was not his first, nor was he his last. Anyways, at the event, Vitaly seemed to be interviewing Will, and as they finished, he asked for a hug, which Will agreed to because why not? And then Vitaly goes in for a kiss, which was something Will did not agree to. And it'd be easy to feel sorry for the guy until you find out that this man is notorious for his odd behavior, provoking celebrities. The man probably did not expect to get slapped by Will, but he definitely asked for it.
Now there's Aubrey Plaza and Michael Cera. Things got awkward on the red carpet between Aubrey Plaza and Michael Cera. Aubrey was doing an interview with Sun TV about her film Scott Pilgrim vs. the World when Michael jokingly grabbed the microphone. Aubrey snapped at him saying, "Seriously, don't do that." She then started yelling at him, and this leads to an abrupt end to the interview. However, it seems as though that Aubrey might have just been playing things up, and that seems to be the general sense to fans as well. Now the pair get along so well, and also fun fact, they actually almost got married. Now perhaps Aubrey was trying to find a way out of the interview, and she found it thanks to Michael. On the other hand, some fans think the entire ordeal was fake and was just a fun prank for the two of them. Now with their sense of humor, it definitely seems like a prank to me, but it's just a really cringy moment. Now let's talk about Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. In August 2019, it was announced that Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth had split up after tying the knot in December 2018. Now since then, the general public has been reflecting on the couple's relationship and dug up some footage of them acting strange on the red carpet. In a video of the pair at the premiere of Avengers Endgame in 2019, Miley can be seen pretending to lick her husband, which Liam doesn't look overly happy about. Now it's even been suggested that he may have been saying, "Could you behave for once?" Now as the Avengers Endgame premiere took place just several months before the couple confirmed their split, it is extremely possible that there was some tension between the pair. MTV News reported on an additional video clip from the event, which allegedly showed Liam expressing his disdain as Miley started twerking on the red carpet. Now basically, this particular joint appearance likely wasn't as picture perfect as it initially seemed. Moving on to Hugh Grant and Ashley Graham. While walking the red carpet at the 2023 Oscars, Hugh Grant was quickly called out online after an interview with Ashley Graham on ABC's Academy Awards pre-show. When asked by the model what his favorite part of the awards ceremony was, he responded, "It's fascinating, the whole world of humanity is here, it's Vanity Fair." Things only got more awkward as Hugh began unenthusiastically responding with short answers, such as saying he wasn't rooting for any nominees in particular, and stating that he couldn't remember the name of the tailor who worked on his suit. Now the interview concluded with Ashley asking him about appearing in one of the night's nominated films, Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery, in which he made a cameo as the partner of Daniel Craig's detective character. "Well, I'm barely in it," he stated. "I'm in it for about 3 seconds." Now on top of that, when asked if he had fun shooting the Knives Out sequel, he simply responded with, "Almost." Twitter then went crazy calling out his behavior, and it was just a plain awkward exchange, but all I gotta say is poor Ashley. Then there's Sacha Baron Cohen and Ryan Seacrest. In the span of a week in 2012, Sacha Baron Cohen went from being banned from attending the Oscars dressed up as his latest character, the Dictator, to getting a last-minute invite from the Academy to dumping what he said were Kim Jong-il's ashes on Ryan Seacrest during E's live red carpet coverage of the event. Now emerging from a limo flanked by 2 women and dressed as General Aladdin, a fictional ruler invented by the comedian, Sacha marched straight up to Ryan and declared "Death to the West," before accidentally dumping an urn of the North Korean ruler's ashes all over a seemingly stunned Ryan. Now after Sacha left, Ryan said, "I had an idea something was coming. I didn't know in what fashion or form. Now you know why this isn't taped. Anything can happen, and it most certainly did all over my lapel." It was definitely strange and awkward, and it's one of the most embarrassing red carpet moments of all time. Up next is David Arquette and RJ City. In 2018, David Arquette got into a physical altercation after a man ambushed him on a red carpet. Now the man who ambushed David was pro wrestler RJ City, who David was supposed to wrestle that weekend. Now the incident went down when David was on the red carpet at the 350 Days premiere in Los Angeles. Video of the July 12th incident posted to TMZ showed David chatting with photographers and reporters when RJ approaches him, pestering him by getting in his personal space. Now David eventually pushes RJ, who responds by slapping David in the face. "See you Sunday, goodbye," RJ says as he is escorted off the red carpet. Now the bad blood between the two began on Twitter when the duo started throwing jabs at each other. Now after the red carpet scuffle, David told reporters, "I have a match with RJ City on Sunday, and apparently he bum rushed me on the red carpet. It's already been and personal. And finally we have Krishan Rock and her stylist. In January 2023, Krishan Rock shocked everyone at the premiere of Baddies West when she was caught on camera throwing a punch. According to What's on Rap, who posted a video clip of the altercation on Twitter, the fight happened just 3 days after she announced her pregnancy, and a security guard managed to stop the fight before it got any worse. Now, although the video doesn't show the person Rock punched, it's been suggested that it may have been the rapper's former stylist. Now, Krishan's red carpet punch isn't the first time she's been seen getting physical in public. That same month, TMZ shared video footage of her allegedly starting a fight with 2 women during a visit to rapper Blueface's house. According to the outlet, Krishan attempted to crash a party that was occurring in the hopes of taking her on and off partner Blueface away. TMZ reported that Rock left the party solo after the very public fight, but it's clear that she's not afraid to throw a punch on or off the red carpet.